there, my name is Aubrey. I'm 12 years old and I just love Enid, Blyton and her incredible stories. It's so cool and so magical and so just love it. And today we are reading chapter 1 of The Wishing Chair again. I always enjoyed this book a lot. Yeah. Okay, let's begin reading. Chapter 1. Home for the Holidays. Molly and Peter had just arrived home for the holidays. Their schools had broken up the same day, which was very lucky, and Mother had met them at the station. They hugged her hard. "Mother, it's great to see you again. How's everyone?" "Fine," said Mother. "The garden's looking lovely. Your bedrooms are all ready for you, and your playroom is in the bottom of the garden. Is longing for you to go there and play as usual." The two children looked at one another. They had a big secret, one they couldn't possibly mention even in their letters to one another at school. How they were longing to talk about it now. "Can we just pop down to our playroom first of all?" asked Peter when they got home. "Oh no, dear," said Mother. "You must come upstairs and wash and help me unpack your things. You will have plenty of time to spend in your playroom these holidays." The children's secret was in their playroom, and they so badly wanted to see it again. They went upstairs and washed and then went down to bed. "Can we go to our playroom after we help you to unpack?" asked Peter. Mother laughed. Very well. Leave me to unpack. And go along. I expect you want to see if I've given away any of your things. Well, I haven't. I never do that without asking you. After tea, Peter spoke to Molly in a low voice. "Molly, do you think Pinkies will be down in our playroom waiting for us with the wishing chair?" "I do hope so," said Molly. "Oh, Peter, it was dreadful trying to keep our secret over term long and never saying anything to anyone." "Well, it's such a marvelous secret, it's worth keeping well," said Peter. "Do you remember when we got the wishing chair, Molly?" "Yes," said Molly. "We went to a funny little shop that sold old things to get something for Mother's birthday. And we saw heaps of strange enchanted things there. And we were frightened, huddled together in an old chair. And we wished we were safe back at home," said Peter. "And hey presto, the chair grew little red wings on its legs and flew out of a window with us and took us back to our playroom." "Yes, and it wouldn't go back to the shop even when we commanded it to," said Molly. "So we had to keep it our very own wishing chair. And do you remember how we went off it again and came to a castle where there was a giant who kept a little servant called Pinky?" said Peter. "And we rescued him and took him home in the wishing chair with us." "That was lovely," said Molly. "And after that, Pinky lived down in our playroom and looked after the chair for us. And told us when it grew wings so that we could all fly off in it again and have wonderful adventures," said Peter. "Then we had to go to school and leave it. But it didn't really matter because Pinky took the chair home to his mother's cottage and lived with her and took care of it for us," said Molly. "And he said he'd come back as soon as we came home for the holidays and bring the chair with him so that we could go adventuring again," finished Peter. "If Mother only knew that's the reason we want to get down to a playroom, to see if Pinky is there, and to see our dear old wishing chair again." Peter found the key. "Come on, Molly, let's go and see all our toys again." "And the wishing chair," said Molly in a whisper. "And Chinky." They rushed downstairs and out into the garden. It was the end of July and the garden was full of flowers. It was lovely to be home. No more lessons for 8 weeks. No more pranks. They raced down to the playroom, which was really a big airy shed at the bottom of the garden. Peter slid the key into the lock. Pinky, are you there? He unlocked the door. The children went into the playroom and looked around. It was a nice room with a big rug on the floor, shelves for their books and toys, a cot with Molly's old dolls in it, and a large doll's house in the corner. But there was no wishing chair and no Pinky, the pixie. The children stared round in dismay. He's not here, said Peter. He said you would have come today with the chair. I gave him the date and he wrote it down in his notebook. I hope he's not ill, said Molly. They all looked round the playroom, set the musical box going and opened the windows. They felt disappointed. They had so looked forward to seeing Pinky and to sitting once more in the wishing chair. Suddenly, a little face looked at the door. Molly gave a shout. Pinky, it's you! We were worried about you. We hoped you'd be here. Both children gave the little pixie a hug. Chinky grinned. How could I be here waiting for you if the door was locked and the windows fastened, silly? I may be a pixie, but I can't fly through locked doors. I have missed you. Were you very bored away at school? Oh no, said Peter. Boarding school was simply lovely. We both loved it, but we were jolly glad to be home again. Pinky, where's the wishing chair? Asked Molly. Nothing's happened to it, has it? Have you got it with you? Well, I brought it here this morning, said Chinky. But when I found the door of the playroom was locked and I couldn't get in it, I hid it under the ledge at the bottom of the garden. But you'd be surprised how many people nearly found it. But nobody goes to the bottom of the garden, said Peter. Oh, don't they? Said Chinky. Well, first of all, your gardener thought he'd cut the ledge there today, and I had an awful job dragging the chair from one hiding place to another. Then an old woman came by, and she almost saw it, but I barked like a dog and she ran away. The children laughed. Poor old Pinky. You must have been glad when we got here at last. Let's go and get it, said Peter. I'm hoping to sit in it again. Has it grown its wings much since we left it with you, Pinky? Not once, said Pinky. Funny, isn't it? It just stood in my mother's like any ordinary chair and never grown even one red wing. I think it was waiting for you to come back. I hope it was, because then it may grow its wings heaps of times, said Peter, and we'll go off on lots of adventures. They went to the hedge. There it is, said Molly in excitement. I can see one of its legs sticking out. They dragged out the old chair. Just the same, said Peter in delight. And how well you kept it, Pinky. It's polished so brightly. Oh, my mother did that, said Chinky. She said such a wonderful chair should have a wonderful polish, and she was at it every day. Rub, rub, rub till the chair groaned. Peter carried the chair back to the playroom. Pinky went in front of it to make sure there was nobody looking. They didn't want any questions asked about why chairs should be hidden in hidden edges. They set it out down on its old place in the playroom. Then they all climbed into it. It's just the same, said Peter. We feel a bit more squashed than usual because Molly and I seem to have grown at school, but you haven't grown, Pinky. No, I shan't grow any more, said Chinky. Pinky. Don't you wish the chair would grow its wings and go flapping off somewhere with us now? Oh yes, said Molly. Chair, do grow your wings just to please us, even if it's just going to take us a little way up in the air and back. But the chair didn't. The children looked anxiously down at its legs to see if the red buds were forming that sprouted into wings. But there was nothing there. It's no good, said Chinky. It won't grow its wings just because it's asked. It can be very obstinate, you know. All I hope is that it hasn't forgotten how to grow its wings after being still so long. I shouldn't like the matter to fade away. This was a dreadful thought. The children patted the arms of a chair. Dear wishing chair, you haven't forgotten how to grow wings, have you? The chair gave a remarkable creak, and a very long one. Everyone laughed. It's all right, said Pinky. It's its way of telling us it hadn't forgotten. A creak is the only voice it's got. Mother came down the garden. Children, Daddy's home. He wants to see you. Peter turned to Pinky. See you tomorrow, Pinky. You can curl up on the old sofa as usual with the rug and the cushion for the night. You'll live in our playroom, won't you, as you did before, and tell us when the jay grows its wings. Yes, I'm allowed to live here once more, said Pinky. The children ran back to the house. They had a very nice evening indeed, telling their parents everything that had happened in the term. Then off they went to bed, glad to be in their dear little rooms again. But they hadn't slept very long before Peter began to dream that he was a rat being shaken by a dog. It was a very unpleasant dream, and he woke up with a jump. It was Pinky shaking him on the arm. Wake up, whispered the Chinky. The chair's got its wings already. They're very strong ones, and they're flapping like anything. If you want an adventure, hurry up. Whoa, what a throw! Peter woke Molly, and they pulled out their clothes very quickly and ran down the garden. They heard a loud flapping noise as they reached the playroom shed. It's the chair's wings, panted Pinky. Come on, we'll just sit in it before it goes flying off. I hope you liked the chapter. Do come along for the next chapter some other time. Take care. Bye-bye.